So I've got a land battle replay here featuring my Tomb Kings with High Queen Khalida and the Bone Giant versus the Empire's double steam tank with the Master Engineer as their lord mounted in one of them. Now I've seen a lot of double Bone Giant. I've seen people bring the Necrotect to heal it up. I cannot stomach bringing a Necrotect just to heal up the Bone Giant. You know, for that cost, I instead have some Carrion that I will use to swarm whatever artillery they have that might be the ones hurting the Bone Giant anyway. So he's just too expensive for only that role. You know, I'm not building a huge construct army anyway. And if you want to make the Necrotect mobile, you got to put him on a chariot, which I hate. He doesn't even have a steed option, so he can just get sniped super easily. Instead, I have the Lich Priest of Nehekara with a few spells that, whenever I cast them because of the lore passive, everyone in the army will get a slight heal. So I like that, and I'm going to be protecting the Bone Giant with Naru's Incantation and increasing its ranged power with Petra's Incantation, which I will overcast to increase the reload skill as well. In tandem with Khalida's Blessing of Asaph, it's going to make the Bone Giant hit pretty hard when it does hit. And what I've done with this one Bone Giant is rank it up, which increases its accuracy, so it should be hitting more. I recommend trying this out, ranking up units like the Bone Giant, Cygor, other artillery, because it increases the accuracy. And you'll hear different opinions on this, like you'll spend all this money ranking it up and it can still miss. It is still RNG, but after coming from a Khalida campaign, I had a Bone Giant that was like all the way ranked up, and it nailed shit, so I wanted to try it out here. And in this case, it's a pretty good showcase, so I want to show that as well as how I use Khalida's Venom Staff. So that's coming up soon. So like I said, I've got these Carrion here that I'm willing to just kamikaze into the enemy's artillery. Oh, and for the rest of my army, it's a bunch of infantry, the Sepulchral Stalkers in the back, 2 Horse Archers, and of course these Carrion, while my opponent has the double steam tank and the cannons, all 3 of which can outrange my Bone Giant, and they're having a ranged duel now. Then he's got a bunch of Halberds, Spears, 2 Halcon Rifles, the Demogryph Knights, and a Warrior Priest. So not much to screen out my Carrion coming in. Anyway, let's get into the shooting here from the Bone Giant. Lich Priest will buff it up with Petra's Incantation soon. Here's a regular shot though. Decent damage. That's without the blessing. Lich Priest hurts itself. Overcasting, of course. So now look at that, 2.2k damage being buffed by the Lich Priest and Khalida. And it's going to keep doing real good damage. 2 solid hits so far. I'm just going to fast forward to see this ranged duel happen here. So chunking down that Master Engineer, the Bone Giant is taking some damage, although I believe I've casted like already 1 Naru's Protection on it. And now the Carrion will come in to stop all of this focus fire, as more shots just wreck this tank straight on. And I'm moving up the rest of my infantry now. This is what I wanted to show you about the Venom Staff. It says that it's good against multiple units and weak against a single target, which it's true that if you hit like a pocket of infantry, it hits it pretty good, and then it does like a little splash attack all over. So it's really good versus infantry, but watch what it does against a single target as well. That's a lot of damage. And look, you have, people say Khalida's expensive, and I guess she is, but if you just bring the Venom Staff, just even leave her on foot, you get 4 uses of this at 30-second cooldown. So around 2 minutes into a match, you can shoot 4 of those things at something and do a lot of damage, especially if you're also shooting it with a Bone Giant. This Master Engineer is almost already dead. We're kind of cluster bombing these Empire troops here, throwing them out of whack. And as the infantry come up to soak up some of this range fire and all that, now the Halcon Rifles are in disarray. Nothing's really threatening the Bone Giant anymore, as this tank is going to try to do some other things. Maybe run over some of my infantry. So I'm not going to really focus on too much of the other micro going on in this match. It's mainly just showing you how effective a ranked up Bone Giant can be with Khalida's Venom Staff going off as well. And man, this this Lich Priest just wrecked itself, casting those overcast spells. Worth it. This wasn't a very competitive match here. Like I said, it's mainly just to showcase the efficacy of these shots. That's insane. That's insane. Love it. And look at how fast this thing's firing from the Blessing of Petra. The reload skill. Must have just finished. Anyway. Very effective. Just fast forward to show some more of this damage and how quick those shots are firing. I think that was like one of the first misses I've seen. And to finish things off, here comes the Sepulchral Stalkers, seeing as they're not really needed as bodyguards. I freaking love these things. The final Serpent, or Venom Staff, comes in. It doesn't always hit. That time I nuked my own guys, but I think it dealt more than enough damage, so before I can bless these things with another incantation, they get a volley off, and oh my god. Yeah, if they had that spell on them before, this thing would already be dead. I just want to see this last shot here, because I love this unit. Poison spit attacks. It reminds me of the Medusa attacks, but that's pretty much it. Really just wanted to showcase those units. And I just want to see the value of the Bone Giant now. Yep, almost 4,000 value, like 1/3 of the enemy's army, which makes sense, you know. The 2 tanks, the Demigryphs. This was obviously an ideal matchup for this, for the Bone Giant. So I recommend messing around with ranking up artillery pieces and monstrous artillery, and using Khalida's Venom Staff on single targets. Maybe you'll try this stuff out and come up with some fun armies of your own. Thanks for watching.